Race and today's race. We went green yesterday, and it's Chris Buescher on the pole. First time he's ever been on the pole in NASCAR.
And you know what? He was ready to go when they said go. He shot out of there. Denny didn't get a very good start, but certainly Chris proved that he wasn't just a one-lap wonder. Had a really fast car throughout the first stage, but here comes Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, Buescher was able to lead the first 18 laps, but the 11 car got going and was able to go on, get past him. And the 11 car obviously looked like the best car before the rain, and then eventually we see the rain, which puts us into a delay, and that was pretty frustrating not to get to run yesterday.
We got 78 laps in, and NASCAR said, you know what, we can't get this thing dry. We're going to come back tomorrow at noon and fire up the engines. Here's the top 10. There was a little bit of strategy here. Some drivers stayed out when the rains came, others pitted. It would all cycle through, and when we returned to the green flag, it was going to be Kyle Larson. But today, before we even get going, Ryan Blaney, who was one of those drivers that played the strategy, had to make a pit stop before we returned to the green flag.
Yeah, the Penske cars, none of them liked the way their cars were handling. Ryan actually had a right front wear issue. They came in, they made an adjustment here, hoping to, I think, survive, knowing that they didn't have a car capable of winning. But Denny Hamlin right here, Michael, seemed unbeatable, and he went on to win stage one.
Yeah, when they threw the green flag, he was the fastest car on the track, and he was able to get through the weather and get to the win in the first stage. So that was a great effort for that team. I thought it was really interesting, Adam. A lot of people coming to pit road and raising their hoods. Usually that's trouble with the engine. Nowadays,
they're just working on
that means we need an adjustment up under there.
Hey, when we see the results, stage one, a huge flavor of Joe Gibbs Racing, Hendrick Motorsports, big problems for Denny on the pit lane.
Yeah, that team has had a lot of issues on pit road this year. Set the world's fastest two-tire stop at Talladega. Then they didn't have enough gas, lose a tire there. And what about this? Is this a save, Jamie? I'm curious. He's backwards. Did he save it?
I consider that a save because he continued. And it's hard to spin out of Dover. Obviously, it reminded us of Jimmy Johnson years ago. You see right here, though, Allmendinger getting into the back of Kurt Busch, pushes him up in front of Reddick. Kurt goes down, collects the inside wall. He continues in the race, but obviously the car is hurt and is quite a bit off the pace.
That's a long day at Dover when you damage your car and you got to keep on going. You see Joey Logano back in the pack. You're not used to seeing that. He got collected with some other cars into the outside wall. Really frustrating day. You mentioned it earlier, Adam, for the Penske cars.
Oh, and this is Denny Hamlin's team coming off turn 4. Cody Ware actually spins out. Denny tries to go to the inside. Cody Ware slides down, tears up the right rear. It looked like they got this fixed and not that much damage, but he was able to continue, but quite a bit off the pace.
And what about this car? We saw him on the pit road with his hood up. He wins stage 2. That shows you when you adjust on your car, you work on these new cars, you got to get really serious about it.
Well, they make a strategy play, but it works out as you see the results here. He's at the top. Those other guys had already made pit stops. So when the final stage began, Blaney was cycled toward the back. Kyle Busch flexing his muscles.
Ooh, Kyle Busch was showing that he had the car to beat at this stage in the race. He and Alex Bowman looked like they were going to have a good race for the win, but you see they're going to pit right here. They pit before everybody else. And it was just a little bit too early, Adam, because shortly after this, you're going to see that we had an issue with another loose wheel. A.J. Allmendinger loses the tire, leaving pit road, brings the caution out, changes the whole complexion of this race.
Whoa, and some of those guys lucky to squeeze by that tire. And by the way, Kyle Busch, it was your birthday. He thought it was all going right until that tire came off, and then when it all went wrong.
Chastain, the big beneficiary here, because he wins the race off pit road after both Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman had gone a lap down. This caution here with Corey LaJoie and Daniel Suarez sets up a big restart late in the race.
Oh, it does, and when we knew track position was important, Chastain's the control car right here. You see Chase Elliott's on his inside. They have an epic battle for 6 to 8 laps, trying to get the lead of this race, seeing who's gonna be able to take control. But you're gonna see Tyler Reddick right here gets loose, spins out, and it's gonna reset the whole thing. I was sitting up waiting on the next restart to see which lane Chastain was gonna choose, because it looked like Elliott might have the advantage, Michael, and on this restart, well, he did.
We're going to go into this a little bit deeper later in next level, but you can watch Chase Elliott. He was able to power down into turn 1 and wrap the bottom and drop off turn 2 with the advantage, and that seemed like maybe that was going to set the tail of the rest of the way, and that's exactly what it did. Last lap, troubles for Martin Truex Jr. He gets together with Ross Chastain into the inside wall, but that didn't slow down engine number 9.
Chase Elliott gets the win. Second time he's picked up a trophy from Miles the Monster. And there you see the jubilation. We give to you the results. Some great stories inside the top 10, including